let's talk about something every English learner knows all too well, that little pause. That moment of hesitation while your brain frantically translates from your native language before you can say a word. Well, in this explainer, we're going to show you how to skip that step entirely and start thinking directly in English. Sound familiar? You know exactly what you want to say, but first, you have to find the words in your own language, piece together the translation, and then, finally, speak. By then, the moment's passed. It's a super common roadblock, but trust me, it's one you can absolutely get past.
And this lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the translation method. It's like taking a winding country road with a bunch of stop signs. But on the right, that's the direct method. It's a straight shot, a super highway. It's just so much faster and more efficient, and it's really the secret to sounding fluent.
But you know, this whole delay thing isn't just about speed. It's also why we sometimes say things that sound, well, a little weird. For instance, if you translate directly, you might end up saying, "I have cold," when a native speaker would say, "I am cold," or "I have a cold." Thinking directly helps you totally sidestep those awkward little traps.
So why should you even bother with this? Oh, the benefits are huge. First off, you'll naturally start to speak faster and more smoothly. Your confidence is going to shoot through the roof because you're not constantly second-guessing yourself. And here's a cool bonus. It actually improves your listening and pronunciation because your brain gets tuned into the real rhythm and sounds of English.
Okay, so we're all on board with why this is important. But before we jump into the how-to, let's figure out what might be getting in your way. We're going to look at 4 super common mistakes. See if any of these sound like you.
First up, just relying way too much on translation. It's like a crutch you never put down. Number 2, getting totally bogged down in grammar rules, analyzing every sentence before it even leaves your mouth. Third is that big one, the fear of making mistakes, which can literally freeze you up. And finally, just not creating an environment for yourself where English is all around you.
And this right here, this is so important. I want you to really let this sink in. Even native speakers mess up their grammar all the time. The whole point is just to communicate, not to be perfect. Fluency is all about the practice you put in, not about waiting until you're flawless. All right, enough about the problems. Let's get into the good stuff, the solutions. Here are 6 real, practical steps you can start using literally today to retrain your brain. And we're going to start super simple. Step 1. Just look around you right now. What do you see? Start naming things in English. Laptop, wall, cup. Easy, right? Step 2. Become the narrator of your own life. Just describe what you're doing in your head. I'm walking to the kitchen. I'm putting on my shoes. And step 3 is a total game changer. Switch to an English-to-English dictionary. So, for example, instead of looking up the word eager and getting a direct translation in your language, you'd see a definition like this one. This little switch is so powerful because it forces your brain to stay in English mode. You start building connections between English words instead of always jumping back and forth. Okay, on to the next set of steps. Step 4. You don't have to think in long, complicated sentences. Start small. Instead of some complex thought about what to cook, just think, I need vegetables. Simple. Step 5. Make a conscious choice to switch your inner voice to English. Start asking yourself things like, okay, what's next? And finally, step 6. Immerse yourself. The more you listen to, watch, and read in English, the more it becomes your brain's default setting. So you've got the steps, you've got the tools, but how do you make it all stick? How do you turn this from something you try to do into something you just do automatically? It's all about building habits. Think of this as a daily workout plan for your brain. When you wake up, think your first thoughts in English. Do the same before you go to sleep. Challenge yourself to a 30-minute no translation period every day. Narrate what you're doing out loud while you cook or go for a walk. And try keeping a super simple journal. Just a sentence or 2 a day in English is a great start. Okay, let's talk about a really common problem. You're doing great, you're thinking in English, and then bam, you get stuck. You just can't find the words you need. It's so frustrating, and it makes you want to immediately switch back to your native language. But don't do it. Here's the trick. Just describe it. If you can't remember the word refrigerator, no problem. Just think, the cold box where I keep my food. This is such a brilliant technique because it keeps your brain working in English. You're focused on getting your idea across, not on finding one single perfect word. And that brings us to the other big challenge, staying motivated. I get it. Sometimes it feels like you're putting in all this work, but you're just not seeing the progress. And that can be really, really discouraging. The secret here is to make your progress impossible to ignore. Keep that journal we talked about.
Or even better, pull out your phone and just record yourself talking for a minute every few days. When you go back and listen to yourself from a few weeks ago, you will be shocked at how much you've improved. Seeing or hearing that proof is the best motivation there is.
So, let's wrap it all up. If you only remember a few things, make it these. First, start small. Words, then simple sentences. Second, be consistent. A little bit every single day is way better than a lot once a week. Third, do not be afraid to make mistakes. They're proof that you're trying. And finally, if you get stuck on a word, just describe it and keep the conversation flowing.
So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Now that you have all these tools, what is the very first thought you are going to consciously have in English after this explainer is over? Don't overthink it. Make it simple, do it right now, and get started. Thanks so much for watching.